Hello traders, my name is Tomasz Wiśniewski, I'm a chief analyst in Alpari Research and Analysis, and this is our daily analytical report. Let's start with the calendar because calendar on Friday is pretty packed. So what do we have here? So far we got PMIs from Germany, which came in line with expectations. Retail sales from Switzerland, which came a little bit worse than expectations, and it caused a little reversal on the Swiss franc. And but we are waiting for the inflation from Eurozone, which will be the most important data today, together with GDP from Canada and ISM manufacturing PMI from US. So that data we are waiting to be published, and this data should bring us volatility on the markets. Now, as it is Friday, maybe you want to keep your position open for the next week, so you need to know what you should expect in the next week. Monday will be pretty empty as usual. On Tuesday, we have statement and decision from Reserve Bank of Australia, definitely important for Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar because of the high correlation between those two. And ISM non-manufacturing PMIs from US. So this week we have manufacturing, and on Tuesday non-manufacturing PMIs and GDT price index. This is important data for the New Zealand dollar. Retail sales from Eurozone can also have an impact on the euro. On Wednesday, GDP from Australia and rate decision statement from Bank of Canada for the Canadian dollar. On Thursday, GDP for Eurozone, interest rate decision for Eurozone, and monetary policy statement press conference for Eurozone. So definitely Thursday important for the euro. And Friday, we do have non-farm payrolls on Friday. Well, first Friday of the month is today, but the non-farms are will be published in next week, not this week. Every day we'll have something to look at, so this is nice that we are going to have fundamental events in the next week. Now let's look at the charts. Gold. Well, gold surprisingly broke out of this channel up formation. We had this reaction here, nice movement. I had a long position here, but the price stopped on this resistance, didn't go any higher. I think I opened my position somewhere here. Stop loss was here, so well, this is a good example why you should have a stop loss. I closed my position without a hesitation. The place for a stop loss was clear, so breakout of this line should cancel as a buy signal. And this is what is happening. The buy signal is cancelled. There is no more buy signal anymore. So it's time to escape from this position. There is no point to fight with this, argue, or anything. It's just close your position, escape, and move on, right? But now the price is testing the long-term support here, which is super important, and you already know about this. We keep repeating this all the time. So $1,307 an ounce. This started at the beginning of February 2015, 2016, 17, 18. Every single year it works, and it worked also in 2019, as you can see. And now we are testing the support. Okay, let's do like this. So I think it would be nice to adjust this. Put the recent price movements like this. Okay, I think it's the best here. So it's 1,300, let's say $4 an ounce. So we still can have a pullback towards this area, and maybe from this point we can have a bounce. Well, what can be created here is a head and shoulder pattern, left shoulder, head and a right shoulder, then a bounce, right shoulder, boom. But I think that the breakout of the orange line will be an end of the midterm uptrend on gold. So we may have a problem here for the long traders on gold. We'll see. Now, British, I'm sorry, euro to British pound. Yesterday we told you about the beautiful sell signal. It is happening, but we do have a small pullback, and this pullback can be used as an occasion to go short. So what we can see here is potential for a drop. So a downswing, we can have a correction and a downswing here. So this may be very interesting occasion, but we have to wait for the continuation of this pullback. Long-term sentiment, long-term view remains negative for the euro to British pound. Now British pound to American dollar cable, that's an inverse head and shoulder pattern, left shoulder, head and right shoulder, a breakout of the neckline, upswing. That gives us a buy signal. Most recently we do have a correction, fair enough. This correction can be a good occasion to go long, like price getting here. Price getting here, creating a reversal pattern can be a good occasion to trade. Euro to Japanese yen. Oh, this is beautiful. So symmetric triangle, upswing, pennant, upswing, wedge, upswing, correction, which can be considered as a wedge. Let's say upswing, correction, upswing. And we said about the buy signal somewhere here, and this is happening. So yes, very a great call from our analytical team. Unfortunately, I do not have a position here. I have a position Swiss franc to Japanese yen, but yes, breakout here. So full buy signal. The price should aim here, and maybe from this point, from this pink resistance, we can have some kind of a bearish correction. But the sentiment on euro to Japanese yen remains definitely positive. Silver. Silver didn't wait for gold, already broke the support. This is false tick, so there was no price like this here. What's that? Triple top formation. So on silver, with the breakout of the neckline, we already have a strong sell signal. Yes, this is definitely a sell signal for silver. The target is here. So as I told you, silver is in a much worse situation than gold. On silver, we already have a sell signal, as we said. Euro dollar, well, this correction on the precious metals comes also from the strength of the dollar, as you can see here. Euro dollar reversed, cancelled this optimism from yesterday, shooting star yesterday, which is pretty bad candlestick pattern. Apart from the shooting star, we broke the uptrend line, and we broke the horizontal support, which can be considered as a neckline of this triple top formation. So this is definitely a sell signal. This kind of movements, I don't like this kind of movements. I prefer those, but this is kind of a sideways trend. After the breakout of such two important supports, I would expect much stronger movement to the downside, which stops me from opening short position actually, because we can see a demand here that they try to keep the price on the highest on the higher levels, which may be a bit worrying for potential sellers. Euro to New Zealand dollar, here we broke the upper line of the channel, the upper line of the channel down formation. which can bring us a sell signal. There is also one resistance here, and it's not like I just put it right now. It's here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points here. So this resistance is definitely here. For the buy signal, I would wait for the breakout of the pink line first. Bitcoin closed in a sideways trend, boring, waiting for some more interesting movements. So the breakout of this gray line will bring us a buy signal. Breakout of this line, this dynamic support, should bring us a sell signal. Crude is climbing higher despite the stronger dollar, despite the drop on commodities like precious metals, which shows us a power here, the strength of the demand. So any potential bears like me should stay away from the market, because from the technical point of view, you don't have any potential good entry points for the short position. American dollar to Canadian dollar, here surprisingly, dollar is stronger everywhere else, but on this pair not. Here Canadian dollar is stronger, and current situation promotes the breakout of this blue line and a further drop towards the black line and a further drop here. So currently American dollar to Canadian dollar is playing this scenario on a weekly chart, so a drop flag, and most probably a drop. If this drop will happen, let's see how deep it can go. It can go at least here. So in terms of the risk to reward ratio, that can be a very good trading occasion. Now 3 instruments from the Trading Sniper video, because the situation here is super interesting. So first one, let's start with the Australian dollar to Swiss franc, where we do have a symmetric triangle pattern. The price broke the lower line of the symmetric triangle, the horizontal support as well, and that brings us a sell signal. As for now, we do have a typical pullback. It's pretty strong, right? So the sell signal may be a false one, but the thing is that as long as we stay inside, below those two resistances, there is still chance for a drop. So on this pair, the signal for the Australian dollar is negative. But I have another instrument for you where the signal for the Australian dollar is positive, which is Australian dollar to Japanese yen, where we do have a buy signal. The buy signal comes from the fact that the price has ascending triangle pattern, so a dynamic support and a horizontal resistance. And most recently, we bounced from this lower line of the the ascending triangle, and also the price broke the upper line of the wedge, which brings us a buy signal. And the potential target is on this horizontal resistance. So on Australian dollar, Japanese yen buy signal, on Australian dollar to Swiss franc still sell, but maybe we'll have a buy, which shows us that on Swiss franc to Japanese yen we should have a buy signal. And this is actually what is happening, and this is my trade. This is my trade from 21st of February. And yesterday this trade became even better. Why? Because the price broke the long-term, let's do it like this, long-term downtrend line and long-term horizontal resistance. Yesterday we broke this, today we are making higher highs and higher lows, which is a confirmation of the positive sign. Interestingly, I risked on this trade only $350. Now I'm already on 900 euros profit. So if my risk would be much bigger at the very beginning, my profit would be much bigger at the very beginning. But as for now, it's like 2.5 to 1 in terms of the profit risk. So that is that is a great risk to reward ratio, and it is still counting. Unfortunately, the swaps on this instrument are negative. So as you can see, I'm losing 40 euros for the past few days. but it's nothing comparing to the profits. As you can see, the reason for Australian dollar to Japanese yen climbing higher is mostly the weakness of the Japanese yen, and it can be seen also on euro to Japanese yen, etc. So that is a proper buy signal. Breakout of those two is a really good buy signal, and I think that it would be wise to follow this really neat, clean setup. And it all started with the breakout from the symmetric triangle pattern breakout, test of its upper line as a support, and then an upswing. Yes, this was a resistance, tested the support, and then the price went higher. My stop loss was here originally, so you can see that it was very close, like 40 pips. I almost get stop loss order triggered. So also it shows you the importance of where you should place your stop loss. It shouldn't be too tight, it shouldn't be too wide. And as you can see, I was risking 45 pips. Now the profit is almost 120, 116. So yes, almost 3 to 1. Now Australian dollar to American dollar. This neckline is not here by accident. I placed this neckline here yesterday. And I told you that the breakout of the neckline should give us a sell signal. This sell signal is here. Sell signal arrived, and we do have bigger head and shoulder pattern here. So it's all about head and shoulders on the Australian dollar to American dollar, and the Australian dollar is climbing higher here despite the sell signal here. Is climbing higher despite the sell signal here. Interesting. Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, you can see the strength of the Canadian dollar taken from here, from American dollar to Canadian dollar. On Canadian dollar, you have a very strong currency from Canada, very weak currency from Japan, and this is the outcome. So a breakout from the rising wedge, which is truly a sign of a big strength if the price breaks from the upper line of the wedge, because normal strength would be like this and a drop. Well, that would be weakness, eventual drop, but here the breakout of the upper line shows you enormous strength of this instrument. And what is worth mentioning is that price climbed above this horizontal support. Where is the potential target? Here the potential target is here, so it's a long-term great trading opportunity. Maybe we should see a kind of a correction first, but as for now we don't. American dollar to Swiss franc. Oh, come on. From this pennant, we have some crazy movements, totally crazy. Like this drop totally covered. This drop, which looked pretty strong, is almost totally covered right now. Come on, give me a break. Why you have movements like this? It's totally... Well, obviously, some may say, okay, if you're a good trader, you're supposed to trade it. Yes, fair enough, but my style is to follow trends, and I don't. I will admit that I cannot trade movements like this. I try to avoid sideways trends as much as possible, and this was a sideways trend. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna stay away. There is a horizontal resistance here, here, made into supports. So this is like a wide area of support and resistance. The thing is that the price going back above the pink line will be a strong buy signal. But as for now, I don't understand the movements on the American dollar to Swiss franc, let's say like this. Let's do a quick recap of the situation here. So gold is aiming for the ultimate long-term horizontal support, bounce here, buy signal, breakout, sell signal. Euro to British pound is having a bullish correction, aiming this horizontal resistance, which may be a good selling opportunity. Cable is having a correction, which also may be a great buying opportunity. Euro to Japanese yen is having a buy signal. Silver is having a sell signal. Euro dollar is having no signal. Euro to New Zealand dollar, on the other hand, will have a sell signal once the price will break the pink line. Bitcoin, no signal. Crude, positive. American dollar to Canadian dollar, breakout of the blue line will give us a sell signal. Australian dollar to the Swiss franc. This may be a false breakout, but as long as we are below those levels, the sentiment is negative. Australian dollar to Japanese yen, that is positive. Swiss franc to Japanese yen, that is positive. Australian dollar to American dollar negative. Canadian dollar to Japanese yen positive. And American dollar to Swiss franc. I have absolutely no idea what is going to happen here. Thanks very much, guys, for attending daily analytical report. I hope you enjoyed this, and now we'll have a short break, and after that a live trading session. Thanks very much, all the best, and have a great weekend.